Welcome to Project Org for today's discussion on the review process for sub or trade contractors' list of bids received. We've set up a test project that has closed the subcontractor's bid. So for the review process, as the owner, the architect, or the review panel or committee, we're going to go to the project management link. As an administrator of the project, we're going to select from our list the project that we'll be reviewing today. From there, we're going to go to our bid build link, and dynamically created is a sub bid review link when the bids close that you have access to all the compiled data, bid tabulations for your review process. You have your company and trade types, just like a bid tabulations would be. One of the things that you'll notice that's going to be different than what the user sees from the public end. Any documents or areas that were set up to be private and not opened in a public fashion. An example of that would be your DCAM update statement, part 1 through 7. These are documents that only the owners group will have access to. You can open them, save them, print them for your review process. The bid package is also available. Now, one of the things that will need to be done is action will have to be taken on each and every one of these from the owners, in the sense of either approving or rejecting every single bid. And what that's going to do, if it's been approved, it's going to release it to the general contractors so that they can select who the subcontractors are going to be. If it's rejected, then it's not going to list them in the drop down, so they cannot select them to do the work. So I've taken the liberty to run through and approve and reject all of the bids for this project. An example, if I wanted to change and this is approved, I can just give myself a note. I can say who is approving it and put my initials in there if I say approve. And what that's going to give me is a quick reference. It's a comment. Nobody sees this but you, or if you're having multiple people do groups of review, you can actually put in their initials so you know who the review person was that either approved or rejected. It's entirely up to you. If it is a review committee, it could also be done in a group setting on a projector in a conference room where you would go through each and every one of these bids, or it can be done by selected people for specific trades. It's entirely up to the owners group on how they would want to review the process. So once that process is complete, you can scroll down to the bottom and you have two options. You can release it to the general contractors, or you can post it. If you release it to the general contractor, it's going to populate all of their bid forms so that they can select who's going to be doing the subcontract for that trade. If you post, it's going to do the exact same thing, but additionally it's going to post a bid tabulations dynamically right on the project details page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post all the work that I've just done, and I'll show you what happens for the user's end. So if I go to the project and I'm a general contractor, I'm going to have the lists of bid received link when the project went off. That's everybody who submitted a bid. And then I'm going to have my bid tabulation sheet, which I'll open up. And it's the exact same information of all the public information and who the bidders were. So that was an example of what happens when it posts. In addition, the portion that releases it to the GC is very simple. It dynamically populates all of the sub-trades for the general contractor so he can select from a list, and it can be one or it can be up to 100 sub bidders for masonry. So it will be a list of all the bidders that he can select from, and all he would need to do is come in and select and cross-reference with the addendum that was created by the architect on whether or not there's any special conditions. So the general contractor would literally come in and select the way he would do his bid normally. And that's an example of what the general contractor would see once the owners group goes through and does their review process. One of the other things, I'm going to go back a couple screens. For the review process, one of the convenient things that you can do as an owner or the architect is if you select everybody within there and copy, you can paste that right into an Excel sheet, so you have an easy, simple, concise tabulation that you can distribute for a review process if it's being done by individuals, and have them email it back, or just present it and put your own letterhead and logo so that you can incorporate it into an addendum that you would list. That's an option that's available depending on how you want to review your project. So I'll close those screens out, and that's the entirety. If you have any questions or problems in the review process, feel free to call Project Dog at 978-499-9014. Hit 0 for the operator, and anybody should be able to help you. Thank you.